Well, my friends, this is a case of Syringomyelia. Now, what is Syringomyelia disease? What are its symptoms? What is the prognosis or fate of the disease? What will be the treatment in modern medicine? What is the treatment in homeopathy? Every point I am discussing. This gentle lady, aged about 43 years, has been suffering from Syringomyelia. Now, what is Syringomyelia disease? The Syringomyelia disease is nothing but a sac, a small ballooning. It appears within the spinal cord. So a kind of tumor in the spinal cord. But this is not a solid tumor. It is a sac-like tumor. Appears within the spinal cord. I am showing on picture, my friends. Now this is the spinal cord. This is the Syringomyelia, a sac. Generally, it may appear any part of the spinal cord. A spinal cord, which is the direct prolongation of the medulla oblongata of the brain. This is known as medulla oblongata part of the brain, and this direct continuation is the spinal cord. এই স্পাইনাল কর্ডের মধ্যে এরকম স্যাক জমে থাকলে তাকে আমরা বলি সিরিঙ্গোমাইলিয়া। Syringomyelia. It's a kind of sac or cyst. কি করে ধরা পড়ে? এমআরআই, ম্যাগনেটো রেডিও আইসোটেপ। ম্যাগনেটিক এমআরআই পুরো নাম ম্যাগনেটিক রেজোনেন্স ইমেজ or isotope. So, Syringomyelia is the development of fluid containing cyst within the spinal cord. The cyst, which is sometimes called a syrinx, can grow larger over time. সময়ের সাথে অনেক বড় হতে পারে। When it does, it can damage the spinal cord and cause pain, weakness, stiffness, functionless of the muscles of the body, extremity muscles. So it is a lower motor neuron disease, no doubt, and the anterior horn cell of the spinal cord becomes destructed. So Syringomyelia has several possible causes. Many causes are associated with injury or something wrong in the brain. The brain tissue may pushes into the spinal cord. Other causes of Syringomyelia include the spinal cord tumors, and big trauma. Now, what are the symptoms? The spinal cord gives pressure to the spinal cord. The spinal cord is not functioning properly. So it affects the muscles of the back, of the shoulder, arms or legs, weakness and wasting of the muscles, loss of reflexes, loss of sensitivity to pain and temperature. There may be headache. There is stiffness in the back, shoulders, arms and leg muscles, I have already told. Pain in the neck region. And another important symptom is scoliosis. রোগী সামনের দিকে ঝুঁকে পড়ে। In advanced case, রোগীর দি ফ্রন্টাল সাইডে ঝুঁকে পড়ে, দ্যাট ইজ নোন অ্যাজ স্কোলিওসিস। When the patient goes to the back side, ব্যাকের দিকে ঝুঁকে পড়ে, দ্যাট ইজ known as lordosis. And when the patient turns into the side, known as kyphosis. Good. So kyphosis, lateral bending, front bending is known as scoliosis, and posterior or back bending is known as lordosis. Why it is called lordosis? Because the bending lords, zamindars, are sits with the bending head backwards. So these are the symptoms of the. It is not clear how and why syringomyelia develops or happens, but when it develops, the fluid that protects the brain and spinal cord collects within the spinal cord and forms the cyst. Now, the main symptoms I have already told. No sensory involvement. Sensory involvement becomes less and lesser, and gradual onset of over months of years pain in the cervical segments. Anterior horn cell damaged, so naturally symptoms of the lower motor neuron develops. Spinothalamic tract becomes damaged, so sensory functions of the patient disturbed. So scoliosis, chronic pain resulting from damage of the spinal cord, and ultimately the patient sometimes may be paralyzed. Now in homeopathic treatment, always on the symptom totality, our patient demanding causticum because aversion to sweets. Causticum acts over the motor nerves, sensory nerves. So causticum is a medicine, great medicine, affects over the motor nerves of the body. And these medicines have desire for meat, aversion to sweets, insomnia, or sleep comes in late, and the patient is sympathetic. So no doubt the patient is causticum. Not only that, on my fine scrutiny, on my fine observation, I have looked that there are many warts and moles in the patient, especially right side of the body, And causticum belongs to which side? Right side. So there are warts in the right side, moles in the right side. So other symptoms corresponding with this pathological site represents causticum or Hahnemann's tinctura acris sine cali. So I like to prescribe causticum in 50 millimolar scale of potencies. Let's see the result. I shall share with my friends. And I do believe by this single medicine the patient will be relieved or benefited. আপনাকে আরোগ্যের জন্য যত সম্ভব চেষ্টা করা হবে। অসুখটা বুঝিয়ে দিয়েছি। পিঠের যে শিরদাঁড়া আছে ওর ভিতরে ছোট্ট টিউমারের মতন হয়, সলিড টিউমার না, স্যাক টাইপের ফ্লুইড জমে যায়, এবং তার জন্য নার্ভে চাপ পড়ছে। নার্ভে চাপ পড়লে তোমার ব্যথা হয়, শক্ত হয়, অসুবিধা হয় চলতে ফিরতে। হোমিওপ্যাথি ওষুধে তোমাকে সম্পূর্ণ সুস্থ করে দেবো।